Alright, testing. I'll have to check my phone. I put some croissants in the oven. Jump scare, by the way, guys. Sorry, jump scare. I'm not gonna be doing too much talking, but I shall be doing a lot of talking today. I got a lot of plans that I have to set forward, and then I'm gonna make a professional video after this. So I'm gonna wait until maybe one or two more people join before I start yapping away. So thank you for being here, Buttercubic. I really appreciate you, for real. I'm trying this out where I don't have a mic. What I mean is I don't have a mic. I don't have my headphones in, so the quality may be different than when I have my headphones in, because when I have my earbuds in, it goes down the drain. But for some reason, sometimes it may be better when I don't have my earbuds in. Cause it may be like the port or something is wrong, and this is just going directly into my laptop's mic. But anyways, so I'm gonna be working on coloring page. Okay, we have what my plan is. I'm planning to try and get most or half of the comic done. Which is kind of gonna be a stretch. I'm not gonna do it all on one stream because I am going to see a movie with my family tonight. So, but I'll try and get as much as I can done within the hour, 2-ish hours that we have in the stream here that I plan to do, or however long my PC decides it can handle. So, um, and there will be moments where I lock in, but I'm going to be talking about like future plans of the channel, what I'm going to be doing more moving forward. I think I keep talking about plans and what I want to do, but it's nothing really too concrete. But I'm actually going to be making an actual schedule, and I'm going to be making. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. It just you may hear my pen though as I like tap on the screen to like color. That's kind of the downside to this, is that you may hear like rustling or this or that. The audio may be better, but it's just that like my PC is just kind of butt when it comes to like mic. um I'm like, if I want to get into this more seriously, which I do, I may get a little bit of aid from my dad. He's trying to get into content creation for his business, so he has like a nice mic and stuff like that. And I'm like, dang, that's pretty nice. He got like a new monitor and everything. But for me, on the other hand, um, okay, what kind of style do I want to do for coloring? I'm gonna do it like the other one, the other chapter. So we're just gonna. Okay, so not every chapter is colored. So I was talking with a friend, and I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for like my comic wise. So I'm only planning 3 pages out of the whole comic that will actually be colored, while the rest will be black and white. There's going to be 30 pages, but only 3 of them. This is one of the pages, by the way, that's colored. And the 2 after this are also going to be colored. And the reason why is just because these pages here, these 3 in a row, just have like the most a lot more visually going on for them when it comes to like the characters and getting to understand the character's personality and stuff like that. So I think it was very important that I colored these ones, and also so we can kind of get the feel of how the world is, like rainbow wise, let's say, like color wise, if that makes sense. Also, Chuli here is being a little menace here, eating a bug. Um, but I did actually, I'm not going to be showing, I did actually show on my Discord server a bit more progress than I normally would, but I was on a call with a friend, so, you know. But I will be posting like full context and stuff on my Patreon. On my Patreon, I have full context and everything only for like $1 membership, but I'm probably going to change the membership price for those who want to see like fully pre-released like comics and stuff. I'm not going to do it quite yet until I get more of like momentum with my comics, but hoping that I could get somewhere that way. Okay, let's see what y'all saying. Hello. Hello, Pidge. How are you? Tell me how you are before I continue rambling. Um, yeah, how are you guys? Before I keep going on my rambles. And then, yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a lot more, like, I'm gonna be working more on, like, commission. I'm gonna go fully into, like, commissions as well as, like, my designs and this comic here. Um, so, and I'm really excited because my dad is like full support of me working on my like not I guess it's content creation. I've been very hesitant to say content creation because it always feels like it isn't really a viable option, but it really is. Content creation is like a viable option. The thing is, you have to be it is a very competitive sphere, and I am very acknowledgeable of that. So that's why I was hesitant of getting myself in. However, I know that a lot of people in my life are like, oh, I think Lou, you'd be really good at doing Twitch streams or live streams or this and that. And I want to say that I agree, but the other part of me is like partially traumatized from my olden days on the internet in 2018 and stuff. And I think a part of me feels like an old person trying to adapt. I do feel like kind of one of those one of those like people are like, I don't really like those clankers, AI, and then clankers with the hard R, but yeah, like I kind of feel like that right now when it comes to like making content and stuff. Things have the environment has changed so much, and I feel like if I really want to get into content creation, I can't be complaining the whole time about, oh, this is how YouTube used to be, like sniffles crying. I'm glad you're doing all right, and I'm sorry you're bummed out today, Buttercubic. I hope your day gets better as the day goes on. I don't know. I think we're at the same time zone, so it's only 4. You got the rest of the day going for you, so no worries. Sometimes, but I totally get it. If you have one of those days where it's just like it's kind of a messed up day, and then you're just like, okay, I guess you know what? Some days you just cannot unmess it up, and it's just one of those things. Um, Honestly, I'm going to be revamping a lot of things, and I mean, I just went into my Instagram and I went and archived a bunch of like fan art. Um, and that's one of the things that I'm going to be going through is all my social media, and I'm going to be going through and kind of just cleaning things out as well as just like preparing things for when I kind of just start things up again. And just kind of get myself more into a schedule. I do have a lot of video topics and things like that I do want to tackle, but we'll handle it as we come along. I think one of the first few videos that I want to make is more relating to the art fight and like how it went and how how my participation is, and then what to expect for next year. I think that's what I'm going to do for the next video. Originally I wanted to make that art fight video within the few weeks, but I've kind of been scatterbrained. I'm not gonna lie, like I genuinely have been all over the place, and I kind of had a moment where I just sat down with my dad. Well, technically we're in the grocery store, so we didn't sit down, but I sat down and I talked with him about just like how I feel right now about like everything relating to the job market and just myself getting work. And one of the things I told him, I said, I just want to, in all honesty, I kind of want to just sit down and just work on my projects and my content on YouTube and stuff, and I want to get back into making money just freelance wise, because genuinely I probably do make more money on freelance than I would doing part-time at this retail store that I'm working. So and it's kind of true. Like I have made more money doing freelance before than what I've done working retail with. Maybe wait, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna get a revenge on the devs. And I'm gonna draw him purging and dang, that's crazy. Oh yeah, this is because the contest you told me. Well, don't feel too bummed out. I mean, I've entered so many different contests, and it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, But I think since you're very established, you're pretty established in the community. I don't think you should feel too bummed out. I mean, it's definitely a great like experience to have exposure and stuff. But you're also valid to feel bummed out. Um, but I think moving forward is like just keep at it, keep at the same level of determination and passion when you enter contests. I think that's good. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I feel that moment though too, with feeling bummed out, especially like not even getting recognition and stuff. I've entered plenty of like fandom related contests myself on Twitter, and I totally understand that feeling. I think what keeps me going on is just like the friends we made on the way. Is really honestly a good like kind of approach for that. Yeah, but I got beat by a guy who traced his art. Well, that does kind of sting. That kind of like, hold on, let me go check the oven real quick. I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me turn the phone off. All right. So, um, anyways, I'm gonna let those. Oh man, it smells bad. Okay. Funny story, guys. I'm back now. But funny story. My mom got me these chocolate croissants, and I let them sit out for like 9+ hours to rise. That's what they were supposed to do. They didn't rise. I put them in the oven. I was trusting. I was like, okay, well, it said wait 9 hours in room temperature, so I did that, and I put them in the oven. I just put them in the oven, and I waited. Obviously, I read the instructions. It's like 20 minutes. I put them in for 20 minutes. I just took them out, and I feel like I just opened like the gates of the inferno. Like I literally like it's opening a gas chamber, literally. Like it smelled so bad. I was like, oh my goodness. I was really scared there. But it's just the chocolate. I think it's the chocolate that burned, and it's not supposed to smell like that, so I was a little concerned. I don't really know what to do. I mean, I let the fan on. The fan's on right now, so we'll just see. I guess I'll do a taste test of the chocolate. The traced art got ninth place. I'll send you a link of the winner. Sure thing. I don't mind. But yeah, anyways, sorry. The chocolate, yeah, anyways. The croissant that my mom got me is just like, it's baked, bruh. It's baked. When I mean it's cooked. That's how, pun intended. But yeah. Oh, Julie looks so cute. She's so precious. She's so cute. She's so cute. She's so cute. Oh my goodness. It's not gonna be as cute when she's utterly terrified of ghosts, but she's so cute. Yippee, yippee, yippee. She's just a little frog who does little frog things. I'm gonna see. Oh yeah, the movie that I'm gonna see later today is Fantastic Four. Um, I'm intended to make a video about. I know so many people are making the video about like Superman, but I feel like I kind of want to talk about it too. Like, it's so good, and I want to talk about like that. Like, yeah, I think I was going. Okay, so the reason when I okay, so yes, Precious Frog. She's a precious little frog. I wanted to talk about Superman. I wanted to make a video. I guess I'm gonna script it. I'm gonna still talk about it with you guys here, but I'll make like a proper video and stuff with like actual editing and things like that. Um, I don't know if you guys would prefer. So one of the questions I'll ask though to be more interactive with y'all is, would you prefer me to do like a video like recording of me drawing, or would you rather have me do like a gameplay kind of background and then have like video editing of like images and bring up like references when I'm talking about through the movie? The view review will be spoilers, with of course with spoilers, because I'm going to be putting my own like twist of like my interpretation as an adoptee. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. But I just want to know your all's thoughts and opinions on that. Like, oof, before I yeah. For, you know, of course before I like start scripting and things like that, just so I know what kind of like editing I would need to do. I'm trying to not do too much editing because I could do both. Well, it's like you could either, you could just do, I guess you could do both of like gameplay and art. I think art may be the easiest just because I do art all the time and I could just record whatever I'm working on and then put it in the background and while I talk. The audio quality will probably be like this because I cannot stand my darn earbuds. I cannot stand my darn earbuds anymore. And I mean, this does feel a lot better than me using my earbuds to talk, but I think the downside is if my family members ever come into the room and you guys just hear my family members talking to me or this or that. Well, for the streams, by the way. I live with my parents still, so you know, it is what it is. It's nothing you can really do. Okay, what am I doing? Am I not following my own guide? Okay, we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna. Julie is so cute, so cute, so cute. There's gonna be this page, and then the next page. This page and the next page are colored, and then the page after that may be colored if I'm feeling it. But if I don't, that's fine too. I'll probably make I do want to make an extra panel. I will say for this chapter, I do have a feeling that I am gonna get criticism that the chapter may feel anticlimactic at the end, but I will make my argument for when I release the comic and stuff like that. And but you guys have like no idea what, like, contextually wise, other than, oh, it's the ghost chapter. The ghoul, a cadaver. I need that. I need to do the audio, the meme audio to I need to make a meme or like funny video to that audio because I think it's so funny. But after I'm done with this chapter, I'm going to immediately go into scripting for chapter 3. I do actually have concepts for what chapter 3 is going to be about. But I'm not going to release any previews or context for that chapter until I finish the references for that chapter. I don't think there's not going to be a monster of the week for that chapter, and maybe there'll be like miniature monsters, but not like a big baddie like this one or the previous chapter. So that is all I'll say for like what to expect from the next chapter. I'm gonna combine all the layers because it's lagging my PC. Meow. Look at the little frog! And, by the way, that's a locust, if you're wondering what kind of insect that is. This isn't really the most accurate locust, but it's a stylized locust. It looks pretty but ugly. I'm not a big fan of locusts and crickets, so I apologize to my locust crickets fans out there. Truly, why are you so silly? Why are you silly Billy? She's so cute. Oh my goodness. I cannot. I hope nothing happens to this child. I say as I'm the writer. Nothing does happen. She grows up to be an adult, so. But, you know, with that, I mean, you can still. Oh my god. You get this stupid little expression. Anyways. I'm just fawning over this is like the one child character I have, actually. I don't think I've ever said this, but like I don't really make a lot of children characters, but this is like the one child character. But she's not a child for too long in the series. Only when we focus on like Jungbei, when she's like raising Chuli. But I'll say next chapter. I'll say she's around the same age. She hasn't really changed much next chapter. Because I mean the next focus is more like backstory based, while this one is just more character relations kind of thing. Okay, I think I wanted to talk to you guys. Okay, so now that there's like more people here, I think I'll go and talk about like what I'm planning to move forward. So one of the things is, wow. So one of the things that I'm planning to do is basically first of all, for YouTube, I am planning to make more videos. I've been kind of hinting at it. I've been talking about it. I'm really hoping to make more videos about just like media I like, and then obviously the projects and things relating to my projects, such as like character designs and like how I design characters for my series. And I'll just be doing kind of like more of a tutorial, I guess. I don't really want to teach people how I do. It's more of like showing how the sausage is made, I guess, of like my projects and things. Such as like I'll be talking more in depth of my video game and just like just my process, how I get to where I am and this and that. And I'll probably do I think when I like I think my first video may just be like an exposition dump on like Liu backstory for people, and then I'll get into like characters and stuff like that. So that's something that I'll do. I do need to make a better introduction for my channel, so it's probably a good time to do that. As well as I will also be for my videos, I'm going to be either doing like recording my video, like my progress art wise here, like what you guys are seeing right now is just me working on my comic, or I'll be recording progress of my commissions that I'm working on. I don't know if I'll be doing like full time lapse of my commissions and stuff. It depends. But I think I can like knock out two birds with one stone by doing recordings of my commissions as well as making videos with that in the background. Another thing is, like I said, okay, so I'll be trying to do more streams. I'll be doing more commissions, as well as like just I'll be kind of leaning way more into like my comic and stuff like that, and just like I do like I want to explain this, like I'm trying to think, like I'm going to be focusing way more on my original characters and things like that. I think that's what's going to be the goings on. Whoa, Julie! Yeah, look at that. Yeah, she's so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. I just keep like every time I look at this character, I'm just like, oh my god, she's just like a little creature. This is a little creature right here, and I just want to like make sure nothing happens to the little creature. The little creature must be protected. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Precious frog, yippee. And then there's just Jungbei like standing over like her kid or something, like like the T. There's this one like when T-Rexes stare at you and they look T-Rexes kind of look utterly terrifying from the front profile. That is honestly how I imagine Jungbei looks, like when if you're like anywhere near her kid, she's gonna look like big scary mama bear. Like, I actually have a paleo drawing of Jungbei and Chuli as their dinosaur forms, which I had their technical, I guess their canonical dinosaur form would be a Utyrannus, which are these feathered. They're basically feathered tyrannosaurs that lived in what is considered modern day China. That's where they used to live. But yeah, they aren't too they're not as big as the T-Rex, but they're pretty pretty sizable, like pretty scary, I'd say. If you were to encounter one, I don't know if it would see us as food. I don't think it depends, because I don't think it would target us per se. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked either. Man, I love dinosaurs. Sometimes I wish like I got that dinosaur autism instead. Like, I mean, I love dinosaurs, but maybe not to an extent as like other people. But I still really appreciate like feathered dinos and things like that. So, this little kid. Hey, can you like control your kid? Disturbing the ecosystem, for real. All right. So, and I'm gonna try. Okay, so one of the other things is, I know I keep saying I need to like use YouTube community to like update you guys when I do my streams. It's easier for me to kind of just like stream. I'm going to try and make sure I stream on Wednesdays. Like, that's gonna be my goal. Like, my goal is to stream on Wednesdays unless I have work on Wednesdays. So we're gonna try and do that. That's what I'm gonna try and do. And then this kid, bro. Menace. Then I have to draw Jungbei. Menace Part 2. But okay, continuing on. I'm like I'm like losing my thought process because I wanted to take a nap, and then I was like, why don't I do a live stream while I work on my drawings? God, there's something wrong with me, for real. Okay. Oof. Okay, I didn't want to do that. No. Alright. I will show you guys the next scene in a second. Ooh. This little kid, bro. This kid is also nasty, spitting out the bugs. Well, it's probably best because one of the things about eating raw insects, unless it's larvae or like ants, you probably shouldn't eat them because they carry diseases. I mean, no duh. And I mean, that's probably why a lot of people have that instinct of like, bugs are kind of gross, why would I eat them? Is because it is an evolutionary trait of ours to like, maybe it is that we don't eat them because they are filled with diseases and parasites and things like that. You could eat them still, and I mean, you can do the same with like, and I mean, the same is with like chicken and like any other meat that we eat, such as like fish. So I mean, as much as like we can dunk on eating insects for like other cultures and people and stuff, I think the other thing is like we constantly like we eat other types of meat that also could carry like parasites and such. I don't know why I got onto this subject for some reason. I'm just like, wow, Chuli is eating bug. Did you know that bug is actually bad to eat? That is kind of the mindset right now. It's like, bug is bad. Don't eat a bug. But it's like, what if you're starving in the woods? Then eat a bug, bro. You know what? There's a far more like that is worse than eating a bug if you're in the woods lost. So eat that bug, bro. Like, but the difference here is Chuli was just fed. Like, she was just given a good bowl of, like, rice porridge. And this girl is like, let me eat this bug now. And maybe it's just because she wants to have the protein. Maybe she's just, like, lacking that nutrients. And she's like, well, it's right here. I'm just gonna eat it. Anyways, I don't know why I was, like, thinking this would be so funny to have this kid just, like, be kind of a menace on the ecosystem. But it kind of makes sense, though. One of the story elements that I'll have later on is the foraging that Jungbei does, and how her child picks up on that in her own way. So it's more like mom is kind of a bad / good influence. I mean, Chuli becomes very self-sufficient as she becomes an adult, but one of the things that she does is, like, anyways, just wanting to talk about, okay, sorry, I'm rambling about my OCs, guys. I'm trying to not spoil too much of my story. Actually, I wanted to get into just talking about my characters, because I want to talk about them more to get people invested in them, and it's like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because, like, if you talk too much, you're gonna spoil it, but at the same time, if you don't talk enough, people won't really get to understand or connect with those characters. So it's kind of knowing a good balance between the two, of, like, what you want people to know about your characters and things like that. I think all you guys need to know is that Jungbei is crazy. they're crazy. Nah, Jungbei isn't crazy. But I will say, when developing this comic, this specific chapter was probably the hardest, and that's why it took me so long to just sit down and develop it, is because I had to do a lot of research beforehand. I had to do a lot of research behavioral wise for children, and, like, how parents should take care of their children and things like that. That is something that I genuinely sat down and just spent a lot of time just doing research for before, making the chapter. And as well as even throughout making the chapter, there's a lot of concepts that I actually scrapped for this chapter. So even if I did post it onto my Patreon, for my singular dollar members, my subscribers of $1, but even then, it's like I said, it's just there was so much that I had to change for this chapter, relating to Jungbei and Chuli, and making sure that for Jungbei, it was making sure there's a good balance of, she's a likable, you want her to be a likable character, not like, obviously you want your main protagonist to be likable and stuff. For Chuli, there's the dilemma for when it comes to child characters. I know it can be really hard for people to write child characters, because objectively, children can be, like, annoying to us. Actually, what my friend said, it's not that children are, like, annoying per se, like, as in, like, oh, like, Jimmy's annoying or this or that, but, like, children genuinely do not have the social cues ingrained in them, and that's why they seem annoying to us, because they don't pick up on the social aspects that we do as adults. So children are genuinely, and I mean, children are just be like, I mean, they just existed, they just spawned here, and then we're so harsh on them too, and they don't know any better. So and the only things that they do is they pick up what we teach them, so, or what they see from our actions. So there's a lot of that too when it came to writing, like, Jungbei and Chuli for this chapter, because Chuli, like, it's different when I did the first chapter where Chuli was like a baby. Like, what is Chuli gonna do? Cry? what bro gonna do? Cry? Yes, because that's all she could have done. But in this chapter, she's 5 years old. She can formulate sentences and things like that. I think Chuli is a character though. She's a very quiet kid, and very reserved. But it's just because of it's very much like a coping mechanism for this child because, um, I mean, if if you stepped out of line, or made thing, or if you were difficult for Chuli, and it's not that I will have moments where Chuli is difficult. In this chapter, a lot of it she's more so scared, rather than being like having a tantrum or being difficult in the sense of like that she's just a child. But even then, that itself is still um a challenge for the character here. Um, but it's making sure, once again, like I said, it's this balance of you want to have your character be like realistic, but you also, I think the thing that actually frustrates me more is not that when children are annoying or they act like children in media, is it's when they are like young little adults. And I just, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine in media is when people just make children like little adults and not let them like write them as children unless you are intending to show the child has to like grow up way too soon. There's a difference though, but sometimes in writing people will make the child like too grown or something, and that itself is a different problem than the child just being annoying. Like I can forgive annoying children. And I think I'm going to bring up an example of a movie I really enjoy, and it's funny enough, it's Karate Kid, and it's I think it's the 2010 one that I really like. Um it's Jackie Chan and I'm trying to remember. You guys can correct me actually if you want. Um, but it's that one, and it's where this kid he travels to with his mom to China to live in China. I freaking love that. I do also like the newest one. The newest one is good too. I do like the newest Karate Kid too. It has a I actually want to gush about that movie. I have to make I have to make a video about it. I have to make a video about it to gush about it. But I'll gush about it later. But the 2010 or something, or 2011, or it was in the 2010s basically. Um and for some reason that movie like connected with me on just a whole different level, and I can't even explain because it really does feel like, for me, it kind of does feel like you are dropped in a foreign country and you're like just still learning the ropes and everything and all of that. And for me, it's like watching this kid go to live in China is just it's a whole other ballpark. Like I like completely related to that, because I'm, even though I was born in China, I wish I could have a lot more connection with it. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get into the secondary ramble of about Karate Kid and just like the Chinese moment. Um okay, but what I meant to say is that kid, he's darn annoying. But this kid is like charming annoying. It's kind of like that kid is just kind of, he's a little turd, and I mean that's just kind of what kids be like sometimes. So I and I think it works very well for the character in the movie. I know I'm being very vague, and I just like, it's because I forget names, and I would have to look it up, and my computer would just start like crying and pooping itself if I started to open another browser while I'm drawing and doing a live stream. It can't even handle the live stream part, let alone the drawing and live stream. So we're lucky that we're this far right now. I'm not even gonna talk about these hands, guys. I've struggled with this page last night, and I was at a. Okay, before I continue, I'm gonna address these hands that are drawn here because I actually took multiple photos of my own hands to like get a reference, and then it still wasn't good enough. So then I was like, I have to give up on this because I have to work on like I have to work on so many other pages. So I had to, pick and choose your battles with what you can draw, what you can't. You can be a perfectionist if you want. I probably, most likely, will go back to these older chapters. Like, if my series gets more attention, I will definitely go back to these chapters and refine them and stuff like that. I do keep every single file. I have a new flash drive that I keep my files, but I'm going to be mostly focusing on the story aspect and the dynamicness of the characters. So that is my main goal for this comic here. Oof, oof. Okay, I just had a moment where I'm just like, what do I talk about now? Um, I can't I can't believe it. We lost a lost a viewer. It is what it is. Um, let's see what I did for this one. Well, we're gonna do the same kind of. We're gonna do a different shading technique for this one. So for this chapter, I think every chapter I'm gonna be trying something new. So until I find something that works for what I like for my aesthetic. So I know it's gonna be a little jarring per chapter, but kind of think of it like this: because my comic isn't serialized and it is very episodic. I think I am able to take that risk for my comic and just change up the like coloring style and stuff like that. I won't be doing too much like stylistically wise. Like the style is just gonna be how I draw my characters, but when it comes to like how I render, how I treat the comic overall, that's what's gonna change how what the comic looks like for that chapter. So next chapter, I'm planning to focus more on the monochromatic scale of the characters and how they look, because I think I do like the just black and white style. However, if I want to integrate like things like topics such as like I want to tackle like colorism in ancient China and slash China, and it's not really, it's really hard to kind of convey unless I am able to like show it within my story. So I have to problem solve to figure how stylistically I would show that with my black and white style for the comic. Right now, it's not really too much of effect, but I'm gonna start implementing it soon. So when it does come into effect, that people can be able to recognize it. Um, but yeah, so that's something. Um, Typically when I'm not streaming, my attention will be I will be a lot faster than this. Um, but for right now, it's gonna be a little slow because I am talking while I'm drawing. So, um, that's just how it's gonna be. Jungbei, yeah! She's painting a sigil. And she's like, okay, we're gonna go bust some ghosts. Maybe I should draw her in like Ghostbusters outfit or something. Um, she is not a Ghostbuster. This is actually so out of her wheelhouse, and she's just like, yeah, I just want to go do this, which kind of makes her a very irresponsible character. She's actually as much as she can seem very like calculated, very cold, like perceptive like wise to like other characters. She herself is a very impulsive character, and I feel like when you look and something about impulsive, I'm gonna talk about impulsive characters. Something about like impulsive characters is that they're always like hyperactive and stuff like that, but people never really think about people who may seem or be perceived as more reserved as impulsive, but it really is the actions that you take that could be considered impulsive actions. So um in this character, anything that relates to her, one of her interests, which is spirit hunting and spirit slaying, she would jump at any opportunity. And even if it is an opportunity that may endanger somebody she loves. So, and it is a definitely a flaw of this character. Um, and I think it's important to have character. I think one of the things that people are so something that I think people are a little afraid of right now is giving your characters these deep flaws. You can, and then they'll, because people kind of tie, there's, I've been noticing this a lot, and it's a lot of like people tying morality with what characters you like or how you write your characters and stuff like that. And it's like, are you a good or bad person? And it's like, um one of the things I notice is like people who are like, you're a bad person if you like this bad character here. And I'm just, and I'm like, how is liking a bad character making you a bad person? Except for when I see people talk about Stella from Hell of a Boss. I can't say it. What what in tarnation? Um, like I have friends and mutuals who like Stella, and I personally don't really see character in her just because the like creator doesn't want to write a character for her. She's very one dimensional, and I think I would enjoy to see her character have more depth. I would like to have, I do like characters that you write just so sometimes there are characters that just exist just because you're a dingus. You're supposed to dislike them because they're supposed to be like this. um and and that's completely fine. Like, there is a difference though between making, like, let's say a morally complex character versus, like, a character that's purposely supposed to be a baddie. James and Jesse. I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah. Okay. I don't really know where I was going with this. Because I've been staring at this darn on Fusash and trying to figure out how to color this because I didn't properly do my line work here. Don't do what I do. Actually, properly line your stuff. Anyone who likes a show, okay, Uni says, honestly, anyone who likes that show is a sign of a flag. Not immediate red flag, but the first of sign of many. Then again, I don't touch that show with a 10-foot pole. Also, you're breaking up. Hold on. That makes sense. My PC is going like it is. Hold on. Jeez, man. Okay. It's probably because my PC is overheating. I'm gonna go get like something to cool down my PC really quick. All right. I don't really like to do this, but it's like kind of extra measures. So a little bit of context: my our AC isn't working, so um, we have like these fans and stuff in the house, and yeah, I got like an ice pack. My computer actually doesn't have a fan, so it burns up really quickly on its own. Let's check this, right. Okay. If I cut up, I apologize, and I'll try my best to hopefully the ice pack helps chill it just a little bit, but it may not be able to be a permanent solution. Um when I'm at my dad's house, it's easier for me to do live streams actually. Um all right. We're gonna fill this in, and then I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna read out your comment again and reply to it. Okay, so you said is a flag. Um, I wouldn't really say people who watch that show is a flag. I really thought the first season was really good. I really liked the first season of Hell of a Boss, I won't lie. And um and I genuinely like think it had like a lot of potential. Um and then it just kind of went down into the ship territory, and I was like, all right, I think I'm good. I am good. I mean, I still probably will watch the episodes just because I really like the animation. But do I care for the content of it anymore? Not really. But I can still appreciate like good animation, and the story may not be the best. There's a lot of work that could be done behind the story. Okay, you're gonna hear a lot of moving around. That's the ice. but but that's just my opinion on that. Um, dang. Oh my god, I've been thinking about it. What if I made my story the storm into a show? Oh, that would be a hard for me to animate though, so I don't know if I'd like that. Um, I still want to make the storm into a game. I'm so dead set on a game, but maybe an animation may be better though, thinking about it, but who knows. But the thing is, like with a game, you can have you can have your characters go solo into areas. While in shows, it's best to have multiple characters to have a constant like back and forth dialogue between characters. So that's I guess I'm gonna talk about like the benefits of different media then now, since now that I'm thinking about it. Cause like if you don't have like multiple characters for a scene or something, then what are people really watching? That's the real question. That's I can't really think of like shows that have just one protagonist character, and that's all we follow is the singular protagonist without interacting with other people or things. Like what I'm thinking right now is like Infinity Train, where we have a singular protagonist character, and I think she gains like a companion or something, I don't know, but she interacts with a lot of interesting things in the different trains and stuff like that, and the different cabooses and stuff. So but for the storm, we have a lot of moments where the characters will just be on their own, and the characters will have to face monsters on their own, and that's something where I think it would benefit a lot more from a gameplay aspect, for a gameplay wise, where you have to face these challenges by yourself, compared to having having to have the character have dialogue or let's say internal monologue, etc. But I think it's a lot more interesting to have for shows and stuff, is having multiple characters, or is having a back and forth dialogue between the characters, because why would you be watching this if there wasn't that back and forth? And I know there's horror media, but the point of the storm is more, I guess it would be more thriller technically in the game aspect, but I would want it to be more story based of just the characters and the world around them. Woof. Okay, I don't know how well this ice is helping, but hopefully it's doing something. It's about 90 something degree. You guys don't see it on my PC, but it's about 90 degrees outside, Fahrenheit, and that's, I would say, maybe that's like 33 Celsius or something around. Let me check. I see Celsius, bro. Okay, let's see Celsius. 35 Celsius. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. Well, now we know. Now we know. Now we know. Okay, so what was my whole point of this? Whatever. Okay, back to Jung Bae, I guess. I was talking about Jung Bae and how she's like kind of a complex character, and I'm just a little anxious that people are gonna. I mean, obviously there will be people who misread a character and stuff, and I can't really do anything to stop that. But I just don't want people to hate her though. And I know, and I'm really trying to like there's multiple things that I'm juggling for this character, is like making sure that she's still a parent, but she may not be the best parent, but at the same time at least she doesn't abuse her kid. But you could still, I guess people could still argue that she abuses her kid by neglecting her kid, slash child endangerment, because of her occupation as a monster hunter. But there's a lot of complicated things that relate to, we also can't apply this morality of good parent or bad parent on Jungbei because of the time period too. So there are a lot of other things that you have to also consider. One of the things that I was talking about with a friend is like Jungbei, I think one of the criticism I get was like Jungbei isn't like, I guess she isn't like truly Asian parent because she doesn't like spank her kid or like discipline her kid or this or that. And I just think the throughout as I'm writing, I'm just like, why would she need to though too? Truly is a very good kid throughout this series, but there are times where she does act out. But I don't think Jung Bae herself would personally. I don't think Jung Bae would ever hit her kid. Oh yeah, sorry. Didn't mean this to get a little deep here. Pardon. I was gonna warning talking about hitting children and child abuse. Didn't mean to just jump into that, but that is something that I thought about when it came to writing these characters, and it's um and there is kind of that complexity of like that parent child relationship. But anyways, woof, woof, woof. Yawning a lot of yawning. I think after I finish coloring in this page, I'm gonna take a nap. So I'm gonna probably end the stream after this, because also my PC is overheating, like I mentioned. So there's that to consider. Yeah, she's telling her kid to spit out the locust. She'll buy her more, she'll get her some more that's like cooked instead. It's probably really dangerous to eat a one raw, so what the Squidward tentacles, Squidward. Okay, sorry, I don't know what I'm just stimming, my bad. Squiddy. Oh my goodness. Spit that bug out, bro. The bug. Meanwhile, bug emoji. The top frame is gonna be changed the colors to more pond themed based, but anyways. Um, I don't know how much I shaded in the previous one. I don't think I did too much shading. I'm gonna do just a little bit. I'm not gonna do. Sorry about that, guys. It's the ice. Um. Oh, darn. Yeah, I'm not feeling like doing the shading. We're just gonna. This one's gonna be a lot more vague in the silhouette and stuff like that. Um. Whew. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I kind of do want to just take a nap now. This is gonna be the downfall of why I can't do streams all the time, is because I just want to nap. Okay, I am so lazy all of a sudden. Oh my goodness. Oh my lord. You know what? I don't know why I'm not rocking with this frame for some reason. Um, I don't really want to. I don't really want to draw it. So maybe I'm just gonna like. Maybe I'm just gonna. I'm gonna do something. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not rocking with this frame for some reason. I just can't think of like originally I was gonna have Jung Bae picking her up, but I just can't. I can't draw that for some reason. I'm gonna go back in and probably edit this frame. So I'm gonna go back in and just get rid of that. And then I think I'm gonna come back later, when I work on the comic here and edit that. So I just can't figure something out right now on stream. So we're gonna go up to this frame instead to work. Whoa. Yeah, I'm like losing all my attention span right now on the stream, and you guys are like seeing it live time right now. Let me pull up another reference. Put it into the reference. See, you guys don't see the reference slot, but it's here. I promise. This froggy has little pants. Little pants. It's very cute. Very cute frog pants. You get a little paws too. Technically, frogs that have okay, so fun fact. Frogs that have little feetsies but still have the tail, these are called froglets. They're not tadpoles, but they're not frogs. Froglets. And this is if they still have the tail and they also have their legs too. So. And, oh man, I was really hoping to be able to finish this chapter a lot sooner than I thought I would, and I feel bad that I've been taking so long for it in the first place, but to be honest, writing, making the art, and then putting it all together does take a bit of time. So, and I know there are a lot of projects that are just done by one person, and then there are some projects that are done by two people, like the writer and then the artist. So, um, and I mean that does definitely, I do think that does change how much more quickly the comic or manga or etc. may be made, but also it might not. So it really just depends on the individuals working on it. So that's something to think about when it comes to work like this. And I mean, typically I think I'm pretty fast, but that's if I have a bunch of motivation to work. Oof. Let's get the lily pads out. Let's get the lily pads out. Oh man. The froggies, the frogs, the froglets. Alright, so we're gonna combine all these layers here because I think they're good. Okay, so then it will be... Alright, I think I'm pretty tired, and I am realizing that my brain power of talking this much is kind of going down the drain. So I think I'm gonna end the stream here. But I am going to be updating a lot of my social media, including my YouTube, Instagram, so on. And I'm going to be making sure, I'm going to basically be doing a lot more commissions. I'm going to be making more videos, and just kind of doing a lot more towards my personal projects and kind of more towards content creation in general. So I do have ideas that I want to work on, but I also think I may have to do everything on a new channel, or I have to go in and dispute a lot of old videos and stuff. This channel does have a bit of baggage on it, and it is a little hard to it would be hard for me to pick up a new channel off the ground. But if you guys are willing to like help me out and stuff like that, I may consider just starting a new channel. Just, it will still have Lou Frog and stuff like that, but I'm considering it because this channel just, it has a lot of baggage behind it. It has a lot of like copyright and this and that, and for me to kind of start anew or being able to monetize anything, if I wanted to do like take this seriously, I would probably have to start a new channel. So I will be kind of keeping you guys updated, and if I do, for right now this channel is just kind of me just talking about things and what I'm planning to do, but I will be making sure to update you guys on what goes on. Oh yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna end the stream here, but hope you guys have a great day. Take care of yourself. Don't be too mean on yourselves either.